Jean Lafitte, 3,000 men, 50 ships, and a pirate empire that helped save America. Welcome back to Arthur Lee's Adventures. I'm Arthur Lee, and today we're diving into Louisiana, a state that's been hiding some absolutely wild secrets. Our explorer community keeps growing, and honestly, Louisiana might be the wildest yet. I've uncovered 10 incredible facts about the Pelican State. We'll start with number 10 and work our way up to the most mind-blowing revelation at number 1. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming. If you're new here, welcome to the adventure. That subscribe button helps more than you know. Fact number 10. Louisiana abolished death penalty, then reinstated it 12 years later. Here's something you probably never learned in civics class. In 1957, Louisiana completely abolished the death penalty, not suspended it, not reformed it, abolished it. Governor Earl Long signed the legislation, making Louisiana one of the most progressive states in the nation on criminal justice. But here's where it gets interesting. Just 12 years later, in 1973, they brought it back. Rising crime rates in the 60s and early 70s had people demanding change. Louisiana became one of only a handful of states to completely reverse such major legislation within 2 decades. They executed their last prisoner, Gerald Bourdelon, by lethal injection on January 7, 2010. Talk about a state that couldn't make up its mind. Coming in at number 9. Napoleon's house never hosted Napoleon. Walk down Chartres Street in the French Quarter today, and you'll find the Napoleon House. Beautiful building, great restaurant, amazing history. But here's the twist. Napoleon Bonaparte never actually lived there, not even close. In 1821, New Orleans Mayor Nicolas Giraud had this brilliant plan. He was going to rescue Napoleon from exile on St. Helena and bring him to New Orleans. Giraud even prepared the house specifically as Napoleon's residence. The whole thing was organized, funded, and ready to go. There was just one tiny problem. Napoleon died on St. Helena before the rescue could happen. The building still operates as a restaurant and bar today, maintaining that 19th century atmosphere. I guess sometimes the best laid plans become the best tourist attractions. Fact number 8 takes us into the wild. Louisiana's Atchafalaya is America's largest swamp. When people think of American wetlands, they usually picture the Everglades. Makes sense. But here's what most people don't know. Louisiana's Atchafalaya Basin is actually the largest wetland and swamp system in the entire United States. We're talking 1.4 million acres. That's bigger than Delaware and Rhode Island combined. This massive ecosystem stretches 140 miles from Simisport all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. It supports 300 species of birds, 90 species of fish, and 50 species of reptiles. Oh, and here's a fun bonus fact. The Atchafalaya produces 65% of Louisiana's crawfish. So next time you're enjoying a crawfish boil, thank America's largest swamp. Now things start getting really interesting. Number 7. Huey Long built 9,700 miles of roads in 4 years. Huey P. Long was a lot of things. Controversial, ambitious, and apparently obsessed with road construction. During his governorship from 1928 to 1932, Long constructed 9,700 miles of surfaced roads. Think about that for a second. When he took office, Louisiana had 331 miles of paved roads. 331. That was it. By the time he was done, the state had over 10,000 miles of paved roads. He literally increased Louisiana's road system by more than 3,000% in 4 years. The man funded this massive infrastructure project by raising taxes on oil companies and wealthy individuals. And honestly, he had to. Before Long's road program, Louisiana had fewer paved roads than any other state in America. Rural communities were completely cut off from markets and services. This one politician basically dragged Louisiana into the 20th century. We're halfway through, and honestly, the next 5 facts are going to blow your mind even more. Ready for number 6? This one still amazes me. Louisiana produced 25% of America's salt in 1862. Picture this. It's the middle of the Civil War. The Confederacy is desperate for salt, not for seasoning, for survival. Salt was the only way to preserve food, and without it, armies starved. Enter Avery Island, Louisiana. In 1862, workers discovered a massive salt deposit. This single mine started producing over 20,000 bushels of salt daily. 20,000 bushels, every single day. By the peak of production, Avery Island was supplying approximately 25% of the entire Confederacy's salt needs. The Union knew how critical this was. They specifically targeted Louisiana salt works, leading to the Battle of Bayou Teche in 1863. The goal? Control this strategic resource. I had no idea salt could be so important to a war effort. And the revelations keep coming. Number 5. New Orleans Mint produced Confederate half dollars. Here's where history gets really fascinating. When Louisiana seceded from the Union, the Confederacy briefly took control of the United States Mint in New Orleans. For a few months in 1861, they actually operated a federal mint facility. The Confederate government decided to mint their own coins. They produced exactly 4 Confederate half dollars. 4. That's it. These are now among the rarest coins in American numismatic history. Each one is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars today. The Mint building still stands in the French Quarter, and you can visit it. But those 4 Confederate half dollars? They're scattered in private collections and museums. The irony is incredible. The Confederacy controlled a United States mint just long enough to create some of the most valuable American coins ever made. We're in the top 4 now, and it only gets better. Buckle up for this next one. New Orleans has North America's oldest streetcar line. The St. Charles streetcar line began service in 1835. 1835. That makes it the oldest continuously operating street railway system in the world. Not just America. The world. This thing has been running on the same basic route for over 180 years. Originally, horses and mules pulled the cars. They electrified the system in 1893, but the route stayed the same. Here's my favorite part. The system survived Hurricane Katrina. When that storm devastated New Orleans, people wondered if the streetcars would ever run again. But they rebuilt it. Today, they're still using some of the same Pearly Thomas streetcars built in the 1920s. Nearly a century old and still carrying passengers. You can't make this stuff up. This next fact changed how I see Louisiana forever. Number 3. Louisiana's territory purchased for 3 cents per acre. April 30th, 1803. The Louisiana Purchase. Most people know it happened. But here's what makes it absolutely wild. The United States paid $15 million for 827,000 square miles. Do the math. That's approximately 3 cents per acre. 3 cents. For some of the richest land in North America. President Thomas Jefferson negotiated this deal with Napoleon Bonaparte, who desperately needed funds for his European wars. This single transaction instantly doubled the size of the United States. It included all or part of 15 current states: Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Oklahoma. Parts of Kansas, Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, and New Mexico. 3 cents per acre for territory that would become the agricultural and industrial heart of America. Napoleon probably needed the money, but wow, what a deal for Jefferson. But wait until you hear number 2. This one genuinely surprised me. Louisiana's Grand Isle hosted Jean Lafitte's pirate base. Jean Lafitte wasn't your typical pirate. From 1810 to 1814, he operated from Barataria Bay near Grand Isle, commanding over 3,000 men and 50 vessels. 3,000 men. This wasn't a small operation. Lafitte ran what was essentially a privateering business with formal commissions and structured operations. But here's where the story gets incredible. During the War of 1812, Andrew Jackson needed help defending New Orleans. He turned to the pirates. Lafitte and his men provided crucial assistance in the Battle of New Orleans on January 8, 1815. After the victory, Jackson pardoned Lafitte and his entire crew. The pirate who had been operating outside the law became a hero who helped save the city. From Grand Isle to American hero in one battle. I love this next one. And now, the moment you've been waiting for. All right, we've covered some incredible ground, but this last one, this is the story that made me want to do this episode in the first place. Number 1. Louisiana created America's first integrated military unit. The Louisiana Native Guards, formed in 1862, became the first officially recognized integrated military regiment in United States history. Both black and white officers served together in the same unit. In 1862, during the Civil War, think about that for a second. This was decades before the Civil Rights Movement. The regiment was initially formed by free men of color in New Orleans. But when the Union Army took control of the city, they incorporated the unit into the federal military. The Louisiana Native Guards included 1,080 enlisted men and 27 officers of African descent. This was groundbreaking, unprecedented, and it happened right here in Louisiana more than 100 years before the military officially integrated nationwide. Now that's a story worth telling. From death penalty reversals to America's first integrated military unit, Louisiana has proven it's anything but ordinary. Which of these facts surprised you the most? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you want to discover more hidden stories like these, subscribe and hit that bell. I release new adventures every week exploring America's forgotten history. Next time, we're heading to a state with an even wilder history. Trust me, fact number 3 on that list had me researching for hours. Thanks for joining me on another adventure. Until next time, keep exploring.